All right, I think I'm live now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you at in the world. It's Tyrus Bane, aka Definition, aka Snapzilla Gorilla. Coming at y'all with a quick live stream. I just wanted to discuss this situation. Yeah. Just wanted to touch on this. I just wanted to go over all the reasons and excuses that people throw out for why Tank Davis is fighting Lamonte Roach. Now, for the record, I do not blame Lamonte Roach in the least. So this is not going. There's not going to be any disrespect toward Lamonte Roach. Lamonte Roach is taking advantage of a situation that has been presented to him, and I ain't mad at him. If Gervonte Tank Davis came to me and said, "Yo, fight me, and you'll get whatever money," I'll fight Tank Davis for sure. And I'm not even in a professional boxer, so I'm not mad at Lamonte Roach. And you know what? I'm not even mad at Tank Davis, because at this point, I don't really give a shit about his career, about his successes or his failures. I really don't care. But what I find interesting is how his fans are behaving and how they are reacting to this, and how they are, of course, copping pleas for him, for the reason he's doing this. And it is what it is. But I just think it's interesting, because if it were anybody else, no, let me not say that. If it were Devin Haney, it would be a whole different story, right? There would be no excuse. Devin would get shat on. They'd call him a cherry pick, all this, that, and the third. And so this is why I wanted to talk about it, because fuck that. We're going to get into the real shit. Now, let's go through it. Is Lamonte Roach Tank Davis's final and only option? And if he's not, right? Let's say he was the fourth option, was Tank's fourth option. Well, are there only how many? Why would he be the fourth? When they put this list together, right? When they said, all right, did they do a pros and cons list? What did they do? How did they determine that Lamonte Roach would be the fourth or fifth option? Because I find that very interesting. So you went through three people in your division. Let's say you went through four people in your division. Why would Lamonte Roach be the fourth or the fifth? And he's not even in your division. That's number one. Number two, why would he be the first option at 130? If you wanted to go down to 130 and pull somebody up, why would he be the first option? These are the burning questions that I have. But you let them tell it, because Lomachenko ducked him, right? Lomachenko ducked him. And people are saying, I don't agree with this. People are saying that Shakur Stevenson ducked him, even though we don't know how far their negotiations with. We don't know if there were, was there a term sheet? Was there an offer? What did Tank Davis present to Shakur, right? Shakur said there was a phone call in which Tank's team said, are you available for a fight? Shakur said that he said, yes, we're available. And they never got back to him. But we're supposed to believe that's a duck? Since when did that happen? So I don't know. I don't know what, because no one in Tank's team and no one in Shakur's team is talking about the other person ducking. So I'm not going to say that's a duck or not. I'm just going to say whatever. There was no conversation beyond that phone call that we know of. So I'm not going to call that a duck. Right? So Lomachenko, Shakur. Right? And then he went to Rio. So really and truly, from what we understand, he approached two people in his division. Then went to the division above, but he wanted to bring Ryo down to a catch weight, I think, or maybe even a 135. So how would that benefit Ryo? I don't see how it would. He moved up and fought for a belt, won the belt from Pitbull. So, he said, I'm champion at 140. I'm not coming down to 135. I'm not doing no catch weights. I'm not doing no rehydration clauses. And that is the prerogative of Ryo. So he decided he didn't want to fuck with that. All right. Now, people are calling Ryo a duck. I don't see how, but, it is what it is. You might, you know what? You might want to say he ducked. Yeah, he ducked. He ducked the terms. He didn't duck Tank. He ducked the terms. So we got to get real, because everybody wants to throw duck around all arbitrarily, right? They just, just like these, they use a lot of terms just all willy-nilly. Face of boxing, duck. These terms are really just subjective, right? They're based on your interpretation, right? They're based on your perception, right? And so what really is a duck? Who knows, man? Oh, I hate this shit. Who really is a duck? So I don't think Ryo's a duck. I think that Tank made an offer. Ryo didn't like the terms, and so he didn't want to do it, right? Tank did not want to go to 140, and so therefore they came to a stalemate and said, okay, we won't fight each other. So I don't think that's a duck. That's just my own that's my perspective of it. My perspective of that situation is that wasn't a duck, but people had their own opinions on that. So then what who did he try to go to after that? I think that's when he decided to go to Lamonte Roach after Ryo turned him down. So there you have 3 fighters. 2 in his own division, 1 in the division above him, and then he goes to Lamonte Roach at 130. Lamonte Roach accepts the fight, said, okay, let me get that payday. Bada boom, bada bing, they're going to fight in December. Now, so with that being said, all these cats and ladies are coming out of the woodworks talking about, oh, well then, there's nobody available. No one's available. No one can fight Tank Davis at this moment. There's this whole thing about, let's say Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is going through some dispute with his promotional company. So ostensibly he's not available. Okay. Who else? Paro, he's available, right? No, he's not. He's fighting. He is fighting Africa. He's fighting. What's his name? Richardson Hitchens. He's fighting Richardson Hitchens in Puerto Rico, so he's not available. And Tank needs a fight this year, so okay, bada boom, bada bing. No Paro, no Teofimo Lopez. Ryo wouldn't do nothing. Ryo wouldn't come down, and we don't even know who's got the WBC belt. We don't even know what's going on with that. That's Devin Haney's in recess. So, but Devin Haney is available, right? Devin Haney is available. Why could he not fight Devin Haney? He could have presented terms to Devin Haney, said, hey, come down to 135 or we can do a catch weight. But that's not what happened. So, okay. He didn't want to fight Devin. But Devin's available. So Devin is available. Said already right there, we have debunked this no one is available bullshit. Because Devin Haney would fight him. Yeah, Devin said he's not coming back down to 135. He says he's not doing no catch weights or no rehydration clauses. But you could call his bluff. And Devin Haney is looking for a good comeback fight, to prove that he still got it. And that would be that would be the biggest fight that Tank Davis could fight. All right, so Devin Haney is available. Is fucking So then let's go back down to 135. Let's go back down to 135. Fucking Keyshawn Davis is available, right? I know that he's supposed to be fighting fucking the brothers. Him and his brother supposed to be fighting Fernando, the Vargas brothers. Okay. Is that solidified? Is that locked in? And here's another thing. Tank Davis is supposed to be so much the man that he should be able to shut down anybody's fight to get them to fight him. If you're just in negotiations, if a fighter is just in negotiations with another fighter and a contract hasn't been signed yet, doesn't Tank Davis have so much gravitas and so much power? He's so great and his name is so above everybody that couldn't he just stop the negotiations and couldn't he just snatch a fight away from somebody, right? I mean, that's what he did with Conor Benn, right? Conor Benn just mentioned Devin Haney's name. And of course, Conor Benn and Devin Haney were not in negotiations to fight. But he wanted to fight Devin. And so Tank decided, I'll tell you what, I'll go snatch Conor Benn from you. Doesn't he have that ability? Don't we hold Tank Davis in such high regard that he can just stop anybody's fight and take their fighter, take their opponent if he so chooses? So why not Keyshawn Davis? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're gonna go down to 130 and pull up Lamonte Roach, I mean, and here's another thing. Somebody said, he's giving another black man a payday, this, that, and third. Well, there's plenty of black people in the rankings at 135 that he could give a payday, right? He can give Keyshawn Davis a payday, right? Why not? He can give, why not Abdullah Mason? Fuck it. I mean, you're pulling up a guy who's a champion at 130, but you can't get his belt if you beat him. You're not going to be able to get his belt, right? He's going to keep his belt. But if he beats you, well, he's going to take your belt. Why not fight Abdullah Mason? Fuck it. Since we just going to do whatever the fuck we want to do, why not fight Abdullah Mason? You know what I'm saying? Hell, why not Camaro Moulton? Camaro Moulton's not even at 135. Just fucking pull him up. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Since we just going to do that, why not Monster Nui? They're the same size. Monster Nui can probably get to 135. You know what I'm saying? Tell him, eat a bunch of rice. Eat a bunch of rice and some eel. Some dragon rolls. That motherfucker gained some weight. Why not bring up Monster Nui? Monster Nui's not black. So that's the thing now. It's all about Tank Davis giving a black man a payday since he want to fight black fighters now. Right? So he wants to fight black fighters, okay, and give them paydays. That's the whole thing now. So now Tank Davis can no longer fight anybody but black people. So if he fights a black person that's not even in the rankings at 135, the excuse that we can give him is that he's giving a black man a payday. So we should shut up. No, fuck that. Fuck that. But I tell you what, if you want to go down and pull somebody from 130 up to fight for your belt, then you should drop the belt. Just drop the belt, right? Drop the belt. And if Lomachenko, you don't want to fight. You don't want to fight your mandatory. You don't want to unify because you don't feel like it, because you're over it. Then he should get his belt stripped. Well, why are we allowing these motherfuckers to keep their belts? If they're not willing to put the belt on the line in the proper way, in the rankings, why are we letting these motherfuckers keep belts? And that's the problem with this 4-belt bullshit. They're just novelties at this point. It's novelties, right? These are novelty belts, right? So why are we holding these novelty belts in such high regard? Let's just do a 1-belt, a lineal champion. That way, motherfuckers, listen, if you don't want to fight for a belt, if you don't want to fight for legacy, if you don't want to be at the top of your division and you just want to fight big fights. Well, then don't fight for no fucking belt. Just do prize fighting. Fight motherfuckers that you think would give you a big payday and leave the belts alone. This is that bullshit. If you're going to go outside of your rankings and go down to another division and pull up a fighter to no, you don't get to keep your belt. If you're going to go up to fight a champion, right? And you get the first dibs because you're a champion and that you have the same belt in your division. Well, guess what? When you fight that motherfucker, you lose your belt. And you lose your belt. And your belt becomes vacant. And then there's a tournament for your belt or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should work. If you're gonna go to another division, if you're gonna fight somebody outside of the rankings, if you're not gonna fight, matter of fact, not even just the rankings, top 3. If you're not fighting if you're not fighting your mandatory, or the number 1, or the number 2, or the number 3, and you go outside of that ranking to fight another person, fine, you can fight them, but you don't get to keep your belt. So guess what? Number 1 and 2, they get to fight for that belt. Right? That way that belt is always in contention. No one can hold the fucking belts up. You know? Do you want to be a champion or do you want to make... Because there is no either or, really. Do you want to be a champion or not? Because this whole excuse of, oh, you can't eat the belts and all this bullshit, and then all of a sudden you want to fight for a belt. Oh, now all of a sudden you want to unify. Well, what do you want to do, man? What do you want to fucking do? Do you want the belt? Do you want to be a champion? What do you want? Like, when are we going to stop coddling these motherfuckers? When are we going to stop? Like, we got to stop this shit. These fighters are millionaires. What's good, y'all? Anarchy Television in the building. 22 Ronin. It's nice country. Anarchy Television, you got a bunch of wind. Where you at? Oh shit, you're in Florida right now? Anarchy Television? I thought you was in Arizona. For some reason I thought you were in Arizona. Damn, so you guys didn't get hit too bad, huh? But I like the one belt idea because either you're gonna fight for a championship or not. If you're gonna hop out the rankings to fight somebody because you want a big payday, and this is not even what kind of payday is this gonna get Tank Davis? What does this motherfucker want to be a champion? Does he want to fight for the money? Does he want? What does he want? What do you want? Does he want a cherry pick? Like what is he doing? This is crazy. This is crazy to me. But it is what it is, If you go through the rankings for his belt, there are hundreds. Well, not 100. I'm not gonna say that. There are plenty of people in the rankings in his division under his belt that he could fight, and the belt will be in contention, and it would be fair. That means that these people that work so hard to move up in the rankings get opportunity. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Y'all stay safe out there. Good luck to you. Good luck to you out there in Florida. Anarchy Television. Super Bowl ring, maybe. I think they should do something, make him a lot more interesting. And I'm not saying people shouldn't fight prize fights, right? Just for because you're going to get the most money out of that fight. But if you're going to do that and you're not fighting the people in your rankings and you're a champion, well then, okay, well give up the belt, vacate that motherfucker, and go get your money. Because you can still make money fighting, doing voluntary defenses and fighting your mandatories. Voluntary defense. Him fighting Lamonte Roach is not a voluntary defense. He's stepping out of the rankings to fight a motherfucker. Out of the division. So, anyway, much love, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. And we're going to keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.